Coming up, the Trump administration is considering what to do about an attack on 2 oil tankers overseas. We will tell you who they believe is responsible. Family and friends gathered to remember an Army cadet who was buried yesterday following a recent training accident. And could a fight be in the works between the state's 2 highest offices? We will have the latest developments straight ahead.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:32 on Monday, June the 17th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning into Mountain News this morning. Well, it's been rumbling, thundering, and stumbling outside. It's been raining all night, and it might have woke you up a little bit this morning, but it was peaceful to sleep if you like thunderstorms to sleep with. We're clearing out a little bit, but a lot of us will see some storms roll in at some point today. Brandon will give us a better breakdown of that. Brandon?
You sound like John Madden there doing like a play-by-play. Rumbling, stumbling, and rumbling.
I got you, dude.
I started laughing. I'm glad you didn't come up on camera when we laughing. Let's take a look, see what's going on this morning. Some folks not laughing because they got woke up early this morning with that thunder. We're still seeing a few thunder boomers across parts of the area this morning, especially down in the Wayne County. They're getting a new batch of rain coming through there. We'll take a look at this cell here first. It's getting ready to move into Hyden and then over into the Clay County area, still over toward Oneida and down toward Stinnett there in Leslie County. So again, lots of rain still coming through there, and we see down toward Wayne County there, Monticello getting soaked this morning. That'll move into Somerset and Pulaski County in just a little bit. We have this going on for about 10 more minutes there. The flood warning's in effect for parts of Clay, Laurel, and Knox counties, including the city of Manchester there in Clay County. They've had some high water issues already this morning. We're looking at, again, low visibilities across the area, so watch out for that. Be careful, give yourself plenty of time, and temperatures in the 60s and 70s to start. Mid-80s this afternoon. We'll get a break in the action, but more chances for showers and storms will be around later today. Rest of the forecast on the way here in a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, the Trump administration says the world must unite. It is working to build a global consensus that Iran was behind the attacks on 2 oil tankers. So far, only Britain and Saudi Arabia are backing the case. CBS's Errol Barnett is at the White House.
The United States is considering a full range of options.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo told Face the Nation that a military response against Iran is just one possibility following Thursday's attacks on 2 oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman. The U.S. released this image of what appears to be an unexploded mine attached to the starboard side of one vessel. And the Department of Defense says this video shows Iran's Revolutionary Guard removing that mine. Germany's foreign minister said he is not convinced this video proves Iran is to blame.
This was taken from an American camera. The world needs to unite against this threat from the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Democrats are resisting a military response.
Where this administration might be leading us on a path to war that could get away from this White House very quickly.
Other Democrats today beat the drum for impeachment of the president. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez says momentum is growing.
We need to at least open an inquiry so that we can look at what is going on.
President Trump insists he did not obstruct justice and says the Constitution allowed him to fire Special Counsel Robert Mueller if he wanted to.
Article 2 allows me to do whatever I want.
Now, Republicans like Senator Lindsey Graham believe that a Democratic focus on impeachment will only help the president get reelected. And Sunday, the South Carolina senator was President Trump's golf partner. Errol Barnett, CBS News, the White House.
Well, meanwhile, thousands of people in Hong Kong jammed the city streets and subway stations on Sunday to protest the government's handling of a proposed extradition bill. Protesters demand Chief Executive Carrie Lam to resign and withdraw rather than just suspend the controversial legislation. Lam backed away from pushing through the legislature, which would enable suspects to be sent to stand trial in mainland Chinese courts. Opponents worry the law could be used to send criminal suspects to China to potentially face vague political charges, possible torture, and unfair trials. A North Miami woman has just become a U.S. citizen at the age of 103. Andrea Joseph was born August 15, 1915 in Haiti. She arrived in the U.S. about 15 years ago. Here you can see her daughter, granddaughter, and great-grandnephew surrounding her as she proudly holds up her citizenship diploma.
We told her that she was going to become a citoyen, which is citizen, in Creole, French. She was excited, she was elated, overjoyed even, that she finally can become a citizen of the United States of America. So it's definitely a great milestone in her life at the age of 103.
Andrea says there's a history of longevity in her family. Her granddaughter also revealed one of the things this does to stay young, saying Andrea credits genetics for her longevity since her grandfather lived to be 110 years old and enjoying being outdoors and traveling. The Trump campaign says it will fire several of its pollsters after the leak of unflattering internal poll numbers. The numbers show President Trump lagging behind Democratic presidential candidates in key states, such as Joe Biden in states like Michigan and Wisconsin. Detailed numbers of 4 of the 17 states the campaign had polled were leaked weeks ago. The president got angry about coverage of the numbers in recent days, and a purge of the polling team was proposed. Today marks the 25th anniversary of infamous O.J. Simpson Bronco chase. A manhunt for the former football star began shortly after he was charged with the murders of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ronald Goldman. Within hours, authorities started the infamous slow chase of a white Bronco driven by Simpson's friend Al Cowlings. After close to 9 months in court, Simpson was found not guilty of the killings, but was later found liable in a civil wrongful death lawsuit brought by the victims' families. Several services were held Saturday for the West Point cadet from New Jersey who was killed during a training exercise. Fellow cadets carried Christopher Morgan's casket across the cemetery at the academy. The 22-year-old died last week when a tactical vehicle overturned. About 1,500 people attended the services, including former President Bill Clinton, who spoke. Morgan's father had been part of Clinton's security detail at one point. He kissed his son's casket. Morgan grew up in West Orange, where he was a standout wrestler. Rumors continue to circulate that Senator Joe Manchin was considering a run at his old job. In an interview with The Hill last week, he voiced his frustration with his current job in Washington and confirmed he is still considering a 2020 run for West Virginia governor. Manchin also told The Hill his team is looking at all options. The 71-year-old chairman of the Energy and Natural Resources Committee could still keep his job in the Senate if he loses his bid for governor. The battle between Kentucky's governor and lieutenant governor continues. In January, Governor Matt Bevin announced Janine Hampton would not be his running mate in his re-election bid for governor. About 1 week later, her chief of staff, Steve Nipper, was fired. On May 30th, her deputy chief of staff, Adrian Southworth, was also let go. Hampton took to Twitter wanting answers. Yesterday, Bevin's chief of staff, Blake Brickman, told the Louisville Courier-Journal in a statement that he authorized the firing of Southworth. He said she was let go for a number of reasons, including misusing state property and advocating for the governor to commute the prison sentence of a man convicted of raping his own stepdaughter. Southworth denies those claims. Kentucky's first Mr. Basketball and Floyd County legend Kelly Coleman died last night. The Herald-Leader reported that Waylon Coleman died at Noreen and Greg Wells Hospice Care Center in Hazard. He was 80 years young. Coleman, who was first named the first Mr. Kentucky basketball player in 1956, set multiple records that many still stand to this day. He also is known for leading Waylon to the state tournament in 1956. Meanwhile, a Pike County Board of Education member resigned last week. Pike County Superintendent Reed Atkins said Justin Maynard resigned on Thursday. Maynard was the District 2 representative. Maynard works for the Pike County Judge Executive and is leaving the board to focus on his role. He became a member of the Pike County Board of Education in 2013. Well, we have some traffic alerts to pass along to you this morning. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet has warned of 3 planned bridge closings for repairs. 2 of them are in Laurel County, starting this morning and running through the 18th of July. One is on Highway 80 over Lick Fork Creek near the 18-mile marker. The other is on Highway 80 over Loophole Creek near the 22-mile marker. The third closing is in Bell County, and it is on the 17th Street Bridge over Yellow Creek in Middlesboro. That runs today from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The work is dependent on weather conditions. Well, in just a few hours, Perry County will have another place to eat at. The highly anticipated Steak and Shake in Hazard opens at 9 in the morning today. The location is one of the best spots in Perry County. The Steak and Shake will be right across the street from Fazoli's and the Big Kahuna Car Wash, adding more options and hopefully attracting more business Owners Kim and Scott King said they believe this area holds the future for business in Perry County and that it offers more job opportunities for the region. Well, it is 6:41 on this Monday. Brandon's waiting patiently at the weather wall to give us a breakdown of what to expect on this soggy start. Brandon?
Hopefully it'll be dry for the grand opening of Steak and Shake here in a few hours, but right now we're still seeing some showers and storms working their way toward Hazard this morning and into southern Kentucky, Monticello, and all of Wayne County and western Pulaski County getting pretty soaked there as well. Visibility is down thanks to some fog after the rain and some of that rain that's still ongoing, so anything less than 5 miles limited visibility. Be careful of that this morning. Upper 60s, low 70s for temperatures so far. Coffee meter, it's a normal day when it comes to temperature, but of course it's always a little extra on Monday. Out the door forecast, we will see some breaks in the action today, but chances for showers and storms around basically all day long, and some of those this afternoon could be on the strong to severe side, so we'll keep you posted on those. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, we will have stories that are trending on WYMT.com next. As always, thank you for joining us right here on Mountain News this morning. Later, how one little boy got the use of his arms back thanks to some specially designed technology.